So moving to our next submission, the Property Council of New Zealand and James Riddoch attending in person, and we've got Natalia attending via audio-visual link, I think, as well.
Yes.
Yep, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Natalia is there on video link.
Can we just check that Natalia is here?
There we are.
Yep, excellent. Natalia, thank you for joining us. All right, so let's move into the submission. Thank you.
Fantastic. Good morning, and thank you, Deputy Mayor and councillors. And thank you for the opportunity to present today in support of our submission on the annual plan. I'm James Riddoch, here in my capacity as branch president of the South Island branch of the Property Council. Natalia Trapatova is a senior advocacy advisor from our national office of Property Council, and has also been working very hard on the submissions we've been making. Property Council itself is the leading advocate for the property sector in New Zealand. Our purpose is together shaping cities where communities thrive. We believe in the creation and retention of well-designed, functional and sustainable built environments which contribute to New Zealand's overall prosperity. We support legislation that provides a framework to enhance economic growth, development, livability and growing communities. Tens of billions of dollars have been invested by Council, the Crown and the private sector in the rebuild, regeneration and recovery of the city. Now's not the time to put that investment at risk by retrenching into austerity. Council expenditure, as you know, remains vital to the local economy and its general confidence. That being said, ratepayers are under significant financial pressure due to the ongoing impacts and uncertainties of COVID-19. As such, it's a very difficult balancing act. By and large, we consider the Council has struck the right balance in the circumstances, and we commend the Council and its officers on the updated draft annual plan. The proposed update helps soften the economic impact of COVID-19 on ratepayers, while ensuring the provision of essential services and the delivery of core infrastructure projects. In terms of the proposed options, we support Council's proposed option 1, being the general rate increase of 3.5% and associated borrowing. This very much is a rainy day, and as such it's an appropriate time to increase Council borrowing to plug the funding shortfall. We believe the option taken will ease the funding burden on all ratepayers while remaining fiscally prudent and ensuring key infrastructure projects continue to progress in order to maintain the workforce needed post-COVID. We strongly support the Council's proposal to continue a rates repayment extension and the reduction in late payment penalties from 10 to 7%. Those proposals will provide additional targeted relief for residential ratepayers and small to medium businesses facing hardship. We recommend that Council makes use of alternative funding and financing mechanisms to reduce reliance on general rates funding and ensure rates affordability going forward. Alternative tools may include user charges, such as water charges and congestion charging, targeted rates, public-private partnerships and special purpose vehicles. In regard to special purpose vehicles, this would involve debt sitting off the Council's balance sheet, which can be helpful for councils approaching debt limits, although we note the debt limits are currently under review. Such a model has been successfully implemented internationally and has been adopted for greenfield developments in Mildale in New Zealand. The tool has become a foundation for the infrastructure funding and financing bill, which the Property Council also supports. In terms of the services and infrastructure, we commend the Council's decision to reassess its capital program for 2021 in light of COVID-19. We endorse the focus on capital projects that are well committed and will therefore have an immediate stimulatory effect on the local economy or benefit from external funding, therefore maximising the value for the ratepayer. We also support the Council spending on the maintenance and upgrading of water supply and stormwater infrastructure, roading upgrades and other essential infrastructure and core services. This is no regret investment which will support the environment and the community's prosperity, health and safety and well-being. Further to this, the projects that help boost the local economy should be and are prioritised. This would include the anchor projects such as the multi-use arena. Council proposes to charge an excess water use targeted rate for residential households that use significantly more water than the average household. We support the proposal, although would prefer a user pay model to reflect more accurately water usage costs. We welcome further collaboration on this as part of the long-term plan process. We support in principle the proposal to reduce the building warranted fitness fee structure. Again, we look forward to reviewing the detail of that in due course. In terms of the strategic framework, I've just got two comments there. First of these on public transport. And we support the proposed strategic framework as it includes essential priority areas for ensuring Christchurch's prosperity now and into the future. However, the increasing active public and shared transport opportunities and use priority has been removed from the framework. In Greater Christchurch, the population is expected to grow by 150,000 people to around 640,000 by 2048. Public transport is key to managing this growth and improving access to economic and social opportunities. We'd therefore recommend reinstating the public transport priority to ensure appropriate prioritisation of public transport related projects and infrastructure. The other strategic point was just regarding the role of Christchurch NZ. Growth in the Christchurch economy remains below the national rate for the June 2019 quarter as the city continues to transition post-earthquake. This underpins the need for continued effort to attract more business activity and people to the region and grow productivity and create jobs. And this is becoming even more relevant now in light of the COVID-19 impacts. And with this in mind, we acknowledge the importance of Christchurch NZ in this and recommend maintaining their funding and mandate. One other point, which is simply that it's critical for the central city that workers return to work in Alert Level 1. This is perhaps a no-cost piece of leadership that could be undertaken by council, government and Christchurch NZ and perhaps the Economic Recovery Forum. We need to have, wherever possible, workers back at work and stimulating the central city. Depreciation, the government's reintroduced building depreciation deduction claims for property owners with commercial and industrial properties. As part of the $2.8 billion support package for business, we recommend leveraging this wherever possible as well encourage investment in industrial and commercial buildings. So thank you once again for the opportunity to provide the feedback on the plan. It gives our members a chance to have their say on how Christchurch is shaped today and in the future. We commend Council on the updated plan and endorse the recommended proposal. That's the end of the presentation, and Natalia and I would be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Leanne.
Well, Mike and I were just sort of looking at the strategic priorities because, I mean, it was a very good point that you made. Under the community outcomes, under the livable city, it says a well-connected and accessible city promoting active and public transport. But I think what you're talking about is actually seeing that in the connections to the outer districts, which is something that we've, developing with the Greater Christchurch Partnership, which is the city, the two districts and the region in terms of the urban connections. But that's what I understood from your submission, is you really want us to highlight that as a strategic
I'll let
priority.
Natalia talk to this one. This was in fact her point.
Right.
Yeah, hi everyone. The Mayor, I think you made a valid point and I think that's exactly what we were trying to say through our submission. And as James mentioned earlier, it's very, very, very important to make sure that this priority isn't there, to make sure that, the Christchurch's prosperity is, Christchurch is doing well in the future.
Excellent.
Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah, can I have a look at what the words are on the wall behind you? Because it looks like...
Oh, it's our vision. So our vision for Property Council is together shaping cities where community thrives. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. Yeah.
I'm giving you a big thumbs up. That's really great.
Oh. Okay, that's great. That's great feedback. I will talk to my manager about it.
Great, thank you. James and Natalia, thanks very much indeed for joining us this morning with a very comprehensive submission. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.